I got started making knives as I was a big fan of blades. I had always carried a knife since I was very young, and I used to buy blades from a particular maker who made handmade swords and knives and stuff like that, and I was very attracted to the idea of learning more about them and their history and where they come from and how they were made. And lucky for me that I had come across somebody who took on apprentices and stuff like that, and let me become an apprentice and teach me the trade. You know, when I met Lyndon, I was still I was dealing with a lot of personal issues and stuff like that. I was a little out of my mind, and work is what helped keep me grounded and sane. But so Lyndon kind of got a bit of a strange apprenticeship out of me. But as we worked together, like we kind of grew and built a bond between us, and I wouldn't say his apprenticeship went the way I would have liked it to go, but it did turn out pretty good. I mean, out of all the apprentices I've had over the years since, he's the only one who's gone on and actually become a maker in his own right, and continued with his craft. Everyone else washes out. I mean, I don't buy blade blanks anywhere or anything like that. Everything is my own steel, my own heat treats, and my own ideas, or the ideas of whoever I'm working with at the time. It's a much more labor-intensive process, but I think that you're getting a more personalized piece. You're getting more of the maker into the blade, more of the spirit of the person into the blade, and their intent and their artistry. It just feels closer than a lot of places stamp out blanks, or they have CNC machines that put out blanks, and they just slap them all together with materials, and it makes a good knife, depending on the materials and the heat treat and so on and so forth. But it's not a bad knife, but it's there's 2,000 of those knives, or 20,000 of those knives, depending on who the maker is. They're all the same. There's no character. There's no spirit in them. They're just like, it's a knife, it's a tool, which is fine if that's what you want. I want a little bit more. Affected pieces tend to run away from you sometimes. They take on a life of their own, and you start off with a basic idea, and you start to work towards that idea, and then the knife decides, I kind of want to do this, and you just kind of gotta go with it and let it grow and become what it wants to be. I've made knives where somebody has said they'd like a knife from me, and they've given me some ideas, or there's something about their personality that I can kind of turn into a story, and I'll put myself into a mindset. I made a set of kitchen knives for a woman who owns an apothecary, and she's really good people, and like she's almost out of a storybook. So I put myself in the mindset of like, well, what if I was a bladesmith in the woods a few hundred years ago, and a woman who was maybe a witch, maybe not a witch, kind of like a fantasy, from a fantasy book and a fairy tale, and I made a knife or a set of knives for her. I called them Witch's Kitchen, and I put myself in that mindset of like a metal worker in the woods creating these blades for somebody. So they were very, rustic and really cool looking, but almost like, almost out of a fairy tale. Yeah, I mean, it's a tool, and, I'm making them so that they're tools, so that people I want to make a knife, ideally, that somebody wants to wear every day. They can wear every day. It's a legal size. They can wear it every day. They can use it. I wear a knife that I use every day almost. Almost everyone I know has a blade that they take out and they use, like to, open mail or, cut rope or whatever they're doing. It comes in handy. I come from, I was taught by generations that, you should have a knife on you. It comes in handy, you use it, it's a tool, it's not like a weapon. People see knives and they're like, oh, it's a weapon. It's not a weapon. It's a piece of art. It's also a tool. You know, and I think if you're going to make something, you should make it nice. You should make it part of yourself. You should, you know, try to express yourself through it.
So what are the goals of this campaign? Like, what are you hoping to accomplish? What are you going to use the money for? What is the next step if this campaign is successful?
World domination.
Yes.
Oh, I mean, no.
That seems to be about like 3 or 4 steps down the line.
Fine, I guess. But we want to use the money. What we do and how we've gone about it, we've bootstrapped ourselves for years now. Just basically taking our own money and just putting it into what we do so that we can do it a little bit more. And we're reaching a point where like we want to expand. We want to do more shows and make more products and get people more involved, you know, because people get involved by being out there and showing them that you're here, you know, like, hey, this is what I do. And the only way to do that is to get out there, you know, do the comic conventions or, you know, the trade shows or gun shows or Renaissance fairs, whatever, you know, outlet you want to pursue to do it, you know, because those are all options for us. Those are things that we're thinking about doing, but we need to be able to make more, and we need to basically keep our shops open so that we can expand into, you know, getting out there more, you know, and making, you know, getting some better machines so that we can make things a little bit quicker and kind of cater to some of the larger demand that's coming our way, you know, and get better tools, better files, you know, like files get dull after a while, you know, and basically just raising money so that we can keep going and hopefully grow. Because right now we're at a crossroads where it's like, you know, we've brought it this far, but now we're really starting to struggle, and we also like have bigger aspirations. You know, it's like there are things that we're limited by because of the tools we have and what we have available to us. And you know, my shop is pretty small. I can't fit too many people in it. You know, I want to be able to make it a little bit bigger, you know, and add a machine or two here so that we can, you know, do some other work that right now it's not beyond us to do, but it would be a lot easier. It would be quicker, and in some cases it would be, you know, a lot more precise. And world domination.
And world domination.